I flunked out of high school twice. I flunked out when I was 15, and I flunked out when I was 17. And it wasn't that I couldn't study, it's just I didn't like school. I flunked English because I can't write. And I think that's kind of interesting. Even though I had Fs, I got congressional nominations to Naval Academy. I had bad grades, but high SATs. My first job was with Standard Oil of California out of San Francisco. So Kings Point had the distinction back in '65 of being the highest paid graduates in the world. So when I graduated in '69 with a Bachelor of Science degree, starting pay for us was about $120,000 a year. So '69, that was a lot of money. But I had to sail into Vietnam. So if I sailed into Vietnam, I got $120K a year. Also, I had to be a member of the union, the labor union. So the MM&P is called the Masters, Mates, and Pilots. And I didn't want to join the union. So Standard Oil was non-union. And the reason I didn't want to join the union is in '65, my economics teacher at the Academy in New York had us read the Communist Manifesto by Marx. So while everybody was learning about whatever we learned in economics, he was teaching us about communism. And my economics teacher was a West Point graduate, Army. And he flew B-17s in World War II, and he went down 3 times. So I'm listening to this guy. He's a real stud, you know what I mean? West Point, bomber pilot, went on, got shot down, went to Harvard, came back as economics teacher. And he's talking to me about what it's like to get shot down and get captured. I'm going, holy mackerel, that sounds kind of like fun, you know? So I graduated in '69. I don't want to join the union because Marx, as Marx says, workers of the world unite. And poor dad was head of the teachers union. And I didn't want to join the union. So that's why I took a lower paying job at $48,000 a year. And '69 was still pretty good. I went to sea, but then it got to me. My economics teacher was a great guy. So when I got back, I went back to visit my school, the Academy. I sat down and talked to him. I said, what's it like to fly a B-17? What's it like to get shot down? What's it like to be a prisoner of war? And the more he told me how horrible it was, I said, I want to do that. And so in 1969, I quit a relatively high-paying job of $48K a year, only working 7 months a year. So I joined the U.S. Marine Corps, proving I'm not the brightest guy in the box. I went from making $48,000 a year to $200 a month. And it was a shock. So I went from this, nice cars, all that stuff, to making $200 a month as a Marine lieutenant. And I go to flight school in Pensacola, Florida, go into Vietnam. I went to Camp Pendleton, California, I flew the helicopter gunship. So why gunships? And he said, because they're getting shot down, you idiot. He says, you guys don't last for very long. He says, it's 30 days. Your life expectancy once you got to Vietnam was 30 days. It turned off most people, but being a Marine and proving I'm not the brightest guy in the world, I said, I want to try that. But again, it was my economics teacher from the Academy who told me it was like to fly a B-17 and get shot down. I said, man, that's a life experience I don't want to miss. So by 1972, I'm flying in Vietnam off a carrier helicopter gunship, and I went down 3 times. And it was the best experience of my life. It's hard to imagine that, but exactly what my economics teacher was telling me, guy had me read the Communist Manifesto and all that. And the reason it was good, that is because in Vietnam, I saw communism. I saw it in real life. Exactly what Marx was saying was happening in real life. And the sad thing is that it's now here in America. Academic system are communists. Just like my poor dad was actually a Marxist, because he never read the Communist Manifesto. But he believed in teachers' union. He believed in the abolition of private property. He believed in taxing the rich. All these things Marx proposed. But because most school teachers have never read the Communist Manifesto, we're teaching communism to our kids today. I use debt as money. Okay, but I only use debt to buy assets. A lot of people use debt to buy liabilities. So I drive a Ferrari. Guess what? It's paid off 100% because it's a liability. I drive a Rolls Royce. It's paid off 100% because it's a liability. Now, so I use debt as money, and I don't save cash because in 1971, the dollar became debt. Nixon took us off the gold standard. So at that point, I save gold. So all the money I make, if I buy something with debt, so that's I'm $1.2 billion in debt, because if I go bust, the bank goes bust. Not my problem, you know what I mean? And all the cash I make is I convert to silver and gold. And pretty soon it got to be a big problem, which is why I own Bitcoin also, because I just don't trust the frickin' dollar. I don't trust the Fed, I don't trust the Treasury, and I don't trust Biden. You want to trust them? Knock yourself out. But anyway, so I saved gold and silver, then it got to be a problem. Because over these, since 1973, I've been buying gold and silver. And it gets to be a problem. And then what happened in 1933, if you know history, is FDR confiscated gold. So can he do it again? Possibly. I flunked English twice when I was 15 and 17 because I can't write. And today I'm a best-selling author.